What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you send through to me on Twitter. And obviously, it's been international break, so there hasn't been too much football wise. There's been a few things going on off the pitch and that with Ed Woodward and fucking Ole coming out making bullshit statements. But the general mood online seems to be is starting to shift now, in it, as I thought it would. So I don't know. I'm interested in seeing how this one pans out. But yeah, let's get into your questions. This one is from, again, well, name's too long, so it's not even fitting. I can't see your at, but it just says, "Do you see yourself becoming a football manager one day? I think you'll be a good manager in the Championship or the Prem. You have a good leadership mentality, fam. Let us know." I don't know. I got my level 2, but I'm not really interested in football management. To be honest, I've never really been interested in coaching since I finished playing, and I don't know, bruv. Like when you look, yeah, it's hard enough to become a football manager as an ex-pro, being a black man. So, like me with like an ex-Premier League, that is an ex-Premier League player, it's hard enough. So man didn't play in the Prem minute when I played pro, so it don't make a difference. Like there's no chance, bruv. I'm looking at the numbers and there's absolutely no chance that I'd even be given an opportunity, and I don't want it enough to say I would go for it. You know them ones. Like obviously the numbers don't put me off. Like if I put my mind to something, I believe I can do anything anyway, but I don't want it enough in it. So the answer would be no to that. However, like yeah, I appreciate that anyway. No one's ever asked me that. That's a strange one, but appreciate that you see something that you think, yeah, that we'll see some qualities that you think would be good. So yeah, that was interesting. So I thought, let me read that out anyway. Obviously, I coached the United Stand team, and I'm happy to do that. Do you know what I mean? But that's fun. That's what it is, brother. I wouldn't do it for work. All right. This one just says hashtag Woodward out. What's your thoughts on United doing a January transfer madness? It's not going to happen. That's what my thoughts are. United don't buy in Jan. And if you can't even trust the club to buy well in the summer, how are you going to trust them in a January transfer window when everyone costs more, bruv? They're going to do a little panic bullshit thing. There's stuff about Ed Woodward coming out saying that they've improved the recruitment element, and there's a lot of football people working off pitch. Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka were the two most obvious signings that Manchester United could have signed. And Wilson, no, Wilson, bro. I was thinking Wilson, James Wilson. Daniel James was a Ryan Giggs recommendation, and it was one of them things where, yeah, cool. Sometimes them signings pay off, sometimes they don't, and it was a lottery, fam. So not giving them no credit for that. These guys are fucking pathetic. In 6 seasons, they haven't they haven't blown my mind with any signings. The last signing that we really made that nobody really saw coming, that's looked like a good signing, was Anthony Martial. That's it. Do you know what I mean? £36 million we paid for Anthony Martial. All this 50 million nonsense was all incentive based. Do you know what I mean? We paid 36 M's for Martial, and he put Arsenal out the Champions League the season before, so he wasn't completely unknown, but it was a shock when we found out we were signing him, and that's credit to Louis Van Gaal. Other than that, all the other signings have either been obvious or they haven't worked out. So fuck these guys. To be honest, man, it's a complete shambles. Ed Woodward's a prick. Manchester United's recruitment is shit, and it's not. I can understand completely why the Glazers are pissed off that they've invested nearly £1 billion into the squad and there's nothing to show for it. And it comes down to the incompetence of the structure below. The only thing is the Glazers are so fucking oblivious to how a football club's supposed to be run that they haven't remedied it. They should have sacked Ed Woodward and restructured the place, but they don't know what they're doing, bruv. They rely on Ed Woodward to know what he's doing, and he doesn't know what he's doing because he's a fucking fraud. So that's my feelings on the January window. Fuck the January window. We'll probably end up with Mandzukic. Next, at Samuel Idile. Does it concern you we are trying to sign Mandzukic when we know he'll come in and be a plan A? Remember, Oli sold Lukaku because he didn't fit the counter-attacking system, but he signs a 30-plus-year-old who has never had pace. But this is it. Oli's a fraud, bruv. Ole bullshitted his way into this job. He lied to all of us and got in our feelings, bruv, and we lost their heads singing Ole's at the fucking wheel, bruv. But Ole don't know what he's doing. Why would you sign Lukaku, sell Lukaku, and then bring in someone like a Mandzukic that doesn't suit the high press, high pace football you want to play? You're better off keeping Lukaku, because at least Lukaku's got a bit of pace. Like, the whole Mandzukic thing makes no sense to me unless you're a pragmatic manager like a Mourinho or a Allegri or something, or a Simeone or something, and you just need like something to switch it up, you know? That signing makes no fucking, it makes no sense, man. Do you know what I mean? So I'm lost with Ole. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, give him time, this, that, and the other. But when I tell you, I said before, I've got no confidence in him. Every time I see him, it just annoys me now. I know he's gonna lie. It's clear that he's in Ed Woodward's pocket. Like, when they're releasing statements so close together, chatting shit. There was one where Ole was talking about Jurgen Klopp and that you can't see Jurgen Klopp through a fucking telescope. And then Woodward's talking about, the first few months of Ole's reign, this is what we need to look forward to and all that. The two of them are fucking, they're just useless, innit? They're both useless, and they're blowing smoke up each other's asses. And Ole's protecting the Glazers and he's protecting Woodward, which is why Woodward will like him, because he won't throw Woodward under the bus, because Ole's just grateful to be there. He knows that he's not good enough to be Manchester United manager and he doesn't deserve the job. So because of that, he's going to be a good boy until his time's up. So there's going to be plenty more pain to come, guys. God is great. I got 3 questions, bro. I don't know about 3 questions, but I'll give you one, yeah? Because the first 2, we don't need to worry about. Given we are going with the younger British policy, would you consider Gareth Southgate as next manager? Bless. Nah, I wouldn't. Because Gareth Southgate, I like his philosophy in terms of he likes to play youth. And he tries to play like a possession-based game. However, Gareth Southgate has shown on numerous occasions that he doesn't really have a plan B in it. He don't have a plan B, and his plan A is not good enough to be... Like, he hasn't got an elite level plan A like Klopp has, or like Pep has. Their plan A's are like so high level that actually they can get away with it most times, isn't it? They're not pragmatic managers. They only play one way. So I don't really know, bruv. I wouldn't take him. I would not take Gareth Southgate, no. Out of British managers, I would take Brendan Rodgers, because he's from Northern Ireland. So yeah, that still counts. Well, I think he's from Northern Ireland and not the South. I'm pretty sure he's from Northern Ireland, but if he's not, you lot can correct me in the comments. I'm sure you will anyway, bruv, because certain man love a correction. And obviously Eddie Howe. In terms of British managers, only them two are the only managers I would take. But I do have a soft spot for Bielsa. I don't know why, blood. I seen the other day my man turned up to the Leeds black tie event in a tracksuit, and that's the kind of shit I would do, innit? Like, that's real thug life, you get me? Man like Bielsa. So yeah, like that would be a sick signing for me, bruv, with a DOF, man. I just want a manager like that. I know everyone's calling out all these obvious managers, but I would happily back a manager without a big name, like a Eddie Howe, or like a Brendan Rodgers, or a Bielsa or something. I'd rather back these, man, with the right kind of recruitment, like the right DOF, than say go out and get an Allegri who is going to need top players right away to implement his philosophy. Because a lot of these pragmatic managers are only as good as the 11 players they have. We're seeing it with Zidane as well. Zidane's very pragmatic, yeah, but Zidane literally had 11 world-class players, bruv. When you go from Varane and Ramos to Carvajal, Marcelo, Casemiro, Cruz, Modric, fucking Benzema, Bale, Ronaldo, fam. Like, the fuck, bro? Like, when you've got 10, 11 world-class players, yeah, you can kind of implement certain things, bruv. Like, and more time, you don't even really need to do that much. So I think there's a lot of lesser managers that could have slapped up man with a world-class 11 like that. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So if we don't have the world-class players, which we clearly don't, I would be all for backing a lesser known manager that has a philosophy, has a way of playing that is progressive and will obviously only improve with better players. Let me know what you think about that, guys, for managers. S underscore Akiyama 4646. Do you think we could do a Chelsea in a year or two, or maybe even in a few months once we have a competent manager? Greenwood, Gomez, Garner, Levitt, Williams, Laird, and you just they're definitely good players and that. Yes, they are. However, Chelsea had cup winning teams, yeah, like the likes of Tomori, Abraham, Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek, Mason Mount. They're ballers, blood. They got a right back as well. I can't remember his name. A black guy, very good as well. But Chelsea been having ballers, you know. And then Jody Morris had them, and now Jody Morris has got these men in the first team as well. Jody Morris has played a key part in what Lampard is doing, and also he went with him to Derby, took Mason and gave him a full season there. So I don't think so. I think Chelsea's players are way better and they're well further forward. A lot of these men have had loans and played a lot more first team football. Like Laird ain't played none. Williams has got a couple appearances. Levitt's good, but he hasn't been given his chance yet. Same with Jimmy and Garner. Gomez ain't getting a game. It's only Greenwood. Out of all the players you mentioned, I think only Greenwood's up to the level to be involved with the first team week in, week out now. Like literally. So because of that, no, I don't think we can do it. And we also, but you are right, we don't have the manager to facilitate these players. But at the same time, you look at Chelsea's team, they're being brought in with world-class players around them, or if they're not world-class, they're still top-level players. These poor kids are getting thrown in with a bunch of bums around them, so there's a lot of pressure on them to deliver something that they're not capable of delivering right now. Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. That was a very good question, because I think a lot of Manchester United fans, because we're so poor now, you lot are looking at our youth team and thinking these men are better than they are. But you just have to think, yeah, how many of these youth players get anywhere near any other team in the top 6? They don't, bruv. Do you see what I'm saying? They don't get nowhere near them. So I think a lot of the time we're getting carried away, yeah, because we're so shit, bruv. But we're not actually seeing that these kids, they're good, but the gap between reserve team level or under 21 football and first team level is humongous. It's literally like the gap between League One and the Prem. Maybe even bigger than that. Let me know. At Mr. Maxson, would you agree that in terms of credentials, Ole is the worst manager in the Premier League? Yeah, absolutely. Including the managers that got promotion from the Championship, as getting promoted is a bigger achievement than winning the Norwegian League from Molde. It is. You're absolutely spot on. And Molde are on course to win the league again. Again, even without Ole. So, make of that as you will, innit? Like, but the guy, he's not a good manager. He's not a good manager, man. And it's painful. A lot of people are saying, oh, respect Ole, he was a club legend. He was as a player, but as a manager, he's done nothing to warrant any kind of respect from football fans that are comparing him to people like Jurgen Klopp. Like, behave yourself. Rishab Qatar Pal. Will Woodward cut Ole loose if we get battered at OT this Sunday? Probably not, bruv. Like, them men are bum chums, blood. When you see what's coming out, it's a disgrace, isn't it? These men are deluded. These men are talking about long term, and yeah, me and Woodward always talk, and we knew it was going to be a 3-year plan and all that. Bro, someone tweeted me and I had to repost it. If you're not meeting your short-term objectives, then you will not reach your long-term objectives, bruv. Like, when you're doing anything, when you're planning any sort of things in life, you have short-term goals, long-term goals. If you're not reaching your short-term goals, the long-term goals are a myth, blood. Because in order to get to your long-term goals, you have to achieve your short-term goals. We are literally in a relegation battle. Man's comparing himself to Klopp's first few games and first however many games. You got to understand that Jurgen Klopp's first full season with Liverpool, he got them to a Champions League final, if I remember correctly, first full season, and still finished in a respectable Premier League position. We will not finish in a respectable Premier League position based on how we started, and we definitely won't be in the Champions League final because we're not even in the Champions League. So, with all that said, it's a joke. Let me know what you think, guys. Do you think that Ole will get sacked? I'm still I'm still thinking he could still get sacked before Christmas, because as much as Woodward comes out and backs him and chats shit, we've seen that Woodward is always happy to pull the trigger on a manager to save himself. He'll always sacrifice someone else. At Ronan Wright, Rants, why do you think Ole abandoned the 4-3-3? It was going so well and everything seemed to be unravelled. Seems to have unravelled since he changed the approach. Can he fix it by going back to the way he played in the first 3 months? No, I don't think he can. But also, the reason why he abandoned the 4-3-3 is because we lost Herrera and also Matic declined as well. So I think it's a combination of the two. The decline of Nemanja Matic means that we can't play that. And also, Ander Herrera's better than Scott McTominay. And he's better at passing the ball forward and he's better in transition. So because of that, Ole's fucked himself. Because letting Herrera go and not replacing him is almost as big as letting Lukaku go and not replacing him. It probably is just as big. So I think that is Ole's fault either way, to be completely honest. But I think it's a combination of those two things. Because Matic, last season, even though he'd lost his legs, he still had more than this season. He's declined rapidly. And then with no Ander Herrera as the shuttle in between, it means that Paul Pogba has to drop back. The whole flow's dead. Let me know what you think if I've missed anything out, guys. At Ryan F. Pierce, what are your thoughts on reports of the DOF but following reports of Ole and Phelan doing part of the job already? Yeah, when I read that, that's when I said sack fucking Woodward and Ole, get them both out of the club. Do you know what I mean? Them guys are fucking deluded about Phelan and Ole already do part of the job. And then Ole came out saying, oh yeah, the structure here is fine and the manager has the final say and all of these things. Fuck that, bruv. You know what I mean? It seems like Ole, yeah, is like a poor man, trying to be a poor man's version of Sir Alex Ferguson. Ole Gunnar Solskjær does not deserve the final say on anything at Manchester United Football Club because he ain't done shit in football, bruv. You know what I mean? You give that to experienced managers that know what they're doing. Furthermore, in modern day football, no manager should have complete control of transfers because the picture is bigger than the current manager, bro. In football, managers' shelf life usually like 3-4 years tops unless they're successful and winning things. No manager that's not successful don't deserve full control of anything. That's what a DOF is for. You have player profiles that you match. So no matter what manager comes in or leaves, you're getting certain profiles. You'll keep the same profile of football, etc., etc., etc. They have it at Barcelona, have it at Ajax, and all these other things. At Ajax, the coach ain't gonna come in and completely try and change the style of football. You play the Ajax way, or you dip, fam. Like this is how it is. There's a specific reason why Mourinho will never get a Bayern Munich job. He'll never get a Barcelona job because you have to do things a certain way. You can't put your own stamp on it, bruv. Like it's just our way or the highway, innit? And I just feel like Ole doesn't deserve full control of anything. We need a director of football. We need a head coach that plays, that works in conjunction with the director of football, that plays a certain brand of football and wants to recruit a certain brand of player. That's just how it needs to be. So when Ole's saying, oh, the setup's good, he's saying that partly to cover his own ass because Woodward's paying his wages, obviously. And two, because he's whatless. So I'm not really even trying to hear any of that shit, bro. We need a director of football and we need Woodward out and we need Ole out. But if we can get a director of football and get Ole out, I'll take that first. Because as much as the Glazers are a fucking problem, they've spent a lot of money in it. And how the money has been spent is not their fault. It's Woodward's fault. Not hiring a director of football, again, is Woodward's job. The Glazers pay Woodward to do what he's supposed to be doing, to run the club properly. He hasn't been doing that. So Woodward is the main fucking issue here. And Ole is just a byproduct of Woodward's incompetence. Should have never given him the job in the first place. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We're almost there. Do you think a 3 at the back formation with 2 strikers up front, preferably Martial and Greenwood/Rashford, with an attacking midfielder like Pogba and 2 workhorses in central midfield is the way forward with the current players? I would play that. I would play Axel Tuanzebe on the right side of the 3. I'd play Lindelof on the left, Maguire in the middle, and play you could play Wan-Bissaka on the right and Dalot on the left, or Luke Shaw on the left. You could definitely play 2 box-to-boxes, probably McTominay and Fred. Play Pogba in the hole and play 2 strikers and just use your fullbacks for width. Because actually, we don't have any wingers. We only have strikers and we're playing strikers out wide. So what's the point in playing strikers out wide? Just play 2 fullbacks, 2 wingbacks, and then you can play 2 strikers down the middle. Like, it's common sense to anyone that knows football. My thing is, I believe that as a manager, you have to do what's best with the players that you have. There's no point saying I want to play a 4-3-3 if you don't have wide forwards. And even though, obviously, it's just fucking Saturday, kick around amateur football, I had the same issue with the United Stand team. Like, we got 2 wingers. That's all we've got. I like to play a 4-2-3-1, yeah. With my 2 wingers, I've got 2 inverted wingers in it, 1 right footer, 1 left footer, and I play them inverted. However, like, one of them weren't available one game, and I'm like, I'm not playing man left wing, yeah, if they're a striker. It don't make no sense. Rather that, I'll just play a 4-4-2 diamond and play one of my wide players in the hole because he likes to dribble and he's creative. So I just played him in the hole behind 2, bruv. Like, you don't shoehorn man into positions that they're not comfortable, like to the detriment of the team, because it's all well and good having a certain shape, but if you don't know how to play a certain position and you keep drifting, actually it's more of a hindrance to the team, because when your centre mid opens his body up and there's no one to hit on out wide because he's drifted inside, bruv, he then needs to take an extra touch or maybe an extra 2 touches and he can lose the ball, bruv, and that's how you concede goals. Do you see what I mean? So you're better off, instead of having a wide player that always drifts in, you're better off just playing him down the middle, so at least his team knows that this is what he's doing. And that's what Andreas Pereira does on the right-hand side. He drifts in, leaves us with a problem. When we turn to the right, there's no one there. Mata does the same thing. So instead of playing them 2 dickheads, yeah, out or wide on the right, you either play a diamond formation and play them centrally, or you just don't play them and you play the fullbacks that stay out wide. Just play them there because you know they're there. That's just it. Like, I don't think it's rocket science, and that's why I don't rate Ole, because it's like, look at the man you have. Good managers always get more than the sum of their parts out of their players, innit? And shit managers get less. Ole's getting less, so he has to go for me. All right, last one. It says, hold on, where are we? It's Casper at Casper or Ace. What do you think happened to Ole after the PSG defeat in terms of tactical knowledge? Do you think he was tactical in the first place, or do you think he was winging it? Yo, he was definitely winging it, but what you got to realize is, yeah, the feel-good factor of having just Mourinho's negative energy, yeah, and he's like out of like the club and stuff like that was enough for players to be playing almost on adrenaline. Do you see what I mean? And then you have to think also that because he came in at a time where there were loads of games in a short period of time, he didn't have much time to coach these players. Like, he was basically saying, you know what, guys, this is the formation we're playing. Make sure you work really hard and just go out and enjoy yourselves. And it was enough to carry us through. It was enough to carry us through. But eventually, once the players started to get tired, started to get injured, it's not enough now to just go out there, have fun, run your socks off, because man are tired now, man are injured. So now you have to rotate the squad, you have to tactically make adjustments and do all of these things. And Ole just ain't got it in his locker. And I just think that he's been found out. I think that a lot of it was down to the form of the players, having a fully fit squad, and him not really have to do too many tactical things. Like, I can't remember too many tactical changes that Ole's made. I remember Crystal Palace away, I was with Flex. He changed to a 5 at the back in the second half, and Ashley Young scored. He came on off the bench or something like that. And I remember that tactical change that worked. But other than that, I haven't seen too many times where Ole's seen that it's not working. He's either changed the personnel and we've won, or he's changed the formation. A lot of the time, he just looks perplexed on the sideline, bruv, just swapping wingers and that. Like, that seems to be his go-to thing now. And yeah, it's very basic, bruv, and very poor. He's shown his hand. Like, I think you guys can tell by just the way my voice dropped and that. Like, I'm so done with Ole, man. I'm so fucking done with him. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We've got Liverpool tomorrow. I'm heading up to the game. me and Flex are going to be on the BBC show before then. So check out my Twitter at Rants and Bants on Twitter, or my Instagram at Rants and Bants on Instagram, and I'll give you more details there about the show, so you can tune in to me and Flex on the BBC show before the game. I'm not feeling optimistic about this game. Klopp's basically said to these man, yeah, Ollie's saying, oh, he thinks that Liverpool could be the perfect game. We're going to pam you, man. That's what Klopp's basically just done, an OG gangster thing, saying, yeah, you're looking forward to playing us? We'll make sure that changes, kind of thing. So I think United could get an absolute bruising tomorrow. I really do. And I'm not looking forward to it, guys. I can't even lie, bruv. I feel shit for sitting here and just saying to you guys, I just don't feel good about this. But you know me, I have to keep it all the way 100, bruv. Like, I'm a United fan, but I'm a football fan first. And I know that form-wise, we're not doing well. Liverpool are better than us. And we got a lot of injuries. Like, it could be a massacre. Give me your score predictions as well in the comment section. Like I said on the Flex and Rant show, 3-0. But honestly, Liverpool never come and really score that many goals at Old Trafford. So I'm not really sure. But they did get Maureen sacked. So I'm in two minds. I'm going to say 2-0 now because I don't think they'll get 3. But you just never fucking know, man. Guys, it's been emotional. Yeah, keep it interactive. All your comments and your replies from all the previous questions are welcomed. And yeah, man, as usual, big up for tuning in. I'm noticing every week that the average numbers are going up and up and up and up. So I just wanted to thank you guys for that. Obviously, I enjoy putting out the content for you. Make sure you smash the like button, share the video, all of that. And yeah, I'll see you for my match review after the Liverpool game. Hopefully, it's not too bad.